Ladies and gentlemen, tonight you might want to say we turn legendary, we turn global, and especially after what happened at World War and at Thursday Night Thunder Punch, episode 25, you'll certainly want to know what is going to happen now after we talk about that missile drop kick heard around the world. Missing Brock Lesnar? Well, our guest does a better F5, some would say, in his own variation than Brock Lesnar. What about the Big Tex failure tour? Just when you thought Big Tex finally wins the big one, not so fast, my friends. We're going to talk about that. Plus, who knows whatever else in the world of DBW, because after all, we might have heard from the DBW World Champion last night, but tonight, now in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, we turn global because technically global is bigger than, well, a world champion. You might just want to say that because it's around the globe. And our guest here is certainly going to have, I know, a lot to say, and especially you, Big Tex. And maybe we'll even throw a few things out there for Nicky Chooch. And let's just say he was sent back to whatever part of the state he and I are from, and certainly anywhere else he's going to go. But it is now time to give our guest that legendary global championship-like introduction that he deserves, especially since once again he retained that DBW Global Championship. And don't pay attention to what the DBW World Champion said last night on Sportswire Radio about the DBW Global Champion, because I can assure you this will be one for the ages. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving our guest that introduction that he deserves. And oh, by the way, before I do that for our guest, I'm going to have an announcement for him at the very end of the show that might maybe cap off his global-like run and his legendary run filled of dominance here in the wrestling circuit and some. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it and give you a Dawn's March-like introduction. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one, global sports show. A man that wins more than Freddie Freeman at the plate for the Los Angeles Dodgers. A man that is simply legendary. His name is, simply put, the DBW Global Champion, the champ is here. Champ, how are we doing?
I'm doing awesome. That is, you man, that intro gets crazier every time.
I'm trying like drum fills. I'm trying the, I guess we can say it. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. The Indian, things there. I'm trying different things because, maybe we need different things for different moments. But obviously, it's good to be with you. And, first of all, congratulations on the big win at World War II. And also the big victory on Thursday Night Thunder Punch, episode 25, where you pulled a number of tricks out of your pocket there, good sir.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with how Thunder Punch went. I'm not.
Me too. What a great show it was, by the way.
Yeah, and it's a great way to just move on from all the stupid stuff that's been in the past. With my match with Nicky Chooch, he hits hard.
I know.
stomped on
I
my hand.
interviewed him once upon a time, actually.
Really?
I
Really?
interviewed
That's
him
awesome.
like in an afternoon. I think I interviewed like on an afternoon one day, about a year ago, actually.
That's really cool. Man,
Yes.
he punched me in the mouth a couple times. He stomped on
We're
my
gonna watch
hand.
it on the air.
Yeah,
We're gonna relive it.
yeah. But that was a great way to get all the Texas garbage out of the air.
well, I know there's somebody there about that. I have to say, even Brandon, sort of laughed a little bit at this, but because we were talking about Brandon and being the world champion. I won't ask you about Brandon until maybe later on, but I did say, because Brandon was talking about taking on different people. I said, if you take on Big Tex, that'll be an easy victory for you, because after all, Big Tex on the failure tour, and that would basically be an automatic victory for you. And even Brandon kind of chuckled. Gotta be honest. I mentioned it. Maybe you should put that title up against Big Tex. That'll be an easy victory for you. He always loses in championship matches. And, Brandon pretty much kind of agreed.
It is what it is. You can't change the facts. I mean, whether you are someone that's more blunt about things like I am, or you are a more kind individual like Brandon Castelli, facts are facts.
He was kind about it. I was trying to get him to say something about it, but Mr. Castelli, no dice there really on that. But, obviously, we'll get to that later on. But, we'll put the matches up in a few minutes. I see some people here in the chat. Thank you, everybody here, for tuning in. And, you had some, I would say, the match you had against Nikki Chooch first, that was really a great match. And you come out and you have to wrestle an opponent you didn't even know you were going to wrestle. I mean, how do you prepare for something like that? This is a guy that wrestles in the independents. He wrestles in North Carolina up and down the circuit. He's from my part of the state, although I don't certainly speak like this individual, don't even look like this individual, but I'll leave that at that once upon a time. But, you pull off a huge victory. You pulled off a lot of things in your arsenal. But how did you find a way to do this and for something you couldn't even prepare for?
Hold on. Give me a second, because I got something to say.
Okay. Yes, sir. Please. Oh, my God. Boy.
All right.
Yes,
so here we go. I've claimed in the past that I'm not too fond of being forced to wrestle when I don't have to. The thing about wrestling is a lot of people have heard about your bump card. And there's a lot of things about that reign true, and there's a lot of things about that reign false.
Okay.
But a reigning prestigious champion like myself, who just went through hell fighting someone more than twice my weight at the biggest show of the year. I don't know if you saw some of the beating that I took, but I was able to
by the way, I was tagged in it. I watched the match twice, and on top of that, there were certainly clips made by your opponent from Mr. Tex himself, and I was tagged in those, and he's been sharing many of those clips on Instagram and TikTok, just to remind you, because I don't think you're on TikTok, just to let you know.
No, I don't have anything on TikTok. Maybe soon, maybe some point.
You should actually, because I do really well on TikTok. TikTok is my best platform, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like the most used media platform.
Yeah, pretty much.
But to my point, I've claimed in the past that I'm not fond of wrestling on Thunder Punch. And I understand this is our 25th anniversary episode, not anniversary, our special 25th edition episode. We had the world champion. We had the Anarchy champion. What was the other? We had
Christian open the show.
We had the Hub City Championship. That was a phenomenal match.
Yep.
Why was I forced to come out? Why was I forced to come out and offer whoever? I didn't have to do an open challenge, but I'm not going to go to someone in the back and say, you know what, you want to fight me? So this is talking to our general manager. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He doesn't make very many appearances, but if you watch the matches, he's the guy in the ring doing the ring announcing as well.
Yeah, I know.
His name is Stephen Gaynor.
Yes, I know.
I've developed a little bit of a problem with Stephen Gaynor because he made me defend this championship on Thunder Punch, knowing that we had more individuals in the arena than we normally do, guys from down south. And I don't know if you've ever been down south, but they hit a little hard. And Nikki Chooch, he claims he's from New York, but he lives in North Carolina now. So
I'm aware of that, yeah, because I haven't seen him in my neck of the woods.
So I'm just going to say this. Stephen Gaynor better step lightly because he doesn't want to get on my bad side. Because I've proven that if you get on my bad side, it doesn't matter if the odds are stacked against me. I'm going to find a way.
You think Stephen Gaynor has an axe to grind with you?
I don't know. I think a lot of people have ever since I've been successful. I think a lot of people have been grinding their teeth at me, looking at me sideways, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people have been doing that ever since I've shown the level of success that I can reach. But the more haters you have, it shows the more successful you are.
I have been told that recently, the last couple of days off the air. But the last 4 months, this has been a great run for you, and maybe there are people that just they want to stop it because they can only hope to contain it. Basically, it was an old thing they used to say. Stuart Scott used to say it on SportsCenter all the time, and maybe that's what it is. They're just trying to. They know they can't stop you, but they can only hope to contain you. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I'm not mad at Nicky Chooch, because if I was in his position, I would have taken that opportunity.
Well, he just showed up. I mean, he was just here to wrestle. I don't really think that the fans were too fond of him anyway in the DB.
Yeah, I give him all the respect in the world. Maybe in another life we'd have different circumstances. You never know what would happen.
Yeah, sure.
But my issue now, like I said, is with Stephen Gaynor. And I hope he's listening to this. He better tread lightly. He better not get on my bad side anymore. One more slip up, I might have to do something about it.
You know what? I definitely would not want to get on your bad side, good sir. And I'm going to tell you what. I got some new people here in the chat, and I want to see you go hit the sub button for my friend Silas Walker first before we watch some DBW coverage, because Silas Walker is almost 200 subscribers away from 1,000. So I want Silas Walker to get to it. I want, you know what? I would love to, I don't want to get on your bad side. I would love to spare you some of mine, but I'm told, unfortunately, according to YouTube, I can't give you some of my subscribers. But what I can do right now, because I see Zilla, who's a big fan of yours, by the way. Zilla has been asking about you for days, by the way. He has been every single stream. Where is Silas Walker? I'm like, he's coming. Hit the sub button for him. You don't want to get on his bad side. Just trust me. Go hit that sub button and just do it. So obviously, yes, just do it there. So we'll make sure we'll put that up here for a minute. And obviously, we appreciate Mr. Silas being here on Sportswire Radio, because he doesn't have to be here, because contractually, he doesn't have to be here. He could go somewhere else. He could be partying on a yacht somewhere if he wanted to. He's a global champion after all. But, maybe I want to save the big Tex match for last, because I know that he's here, Mr. Tex. I know that Mr. Tex is going to have a lot to say. But let's go back. I want to watch Thunder Punch episode 25, because I really want to talk about your match. I was talking to you off the air about it. I really enjoyed the match a lot, and I want to give it some due here, and I want everybody else to join me in watching. And by the way, DBW, I just want to say, has been killing it recently. I've been talking about it. I think you were here not too long ago. Mr. Wakefield, who I guess might be a DBW again. I don't know. I'll ask you about him later. A bunch of different guys have been here from DBW recently. And DBW's product, I mean, I just can't say enough good things about it, which is why we're going to go watch episode 25 right now on Sportswire Radio. So let's go here to where we want to be. I want to go right to your match, because, I mean, the other stuff, we could definitely talk about another time. But you're here. You're the global champion. I want to make sure that you get your opportunity here. But here we go. So we're going to go like this, and I'm going to put this right back up on the screen. Everybody in the chat, just hang on tight. I'll say hello to you in a few minutes. But here we go. And there you are, good sir. And there is Mr. Gaynor. And, he's there and with the DBW shirt. And you're waiting for something. And you don't look too happy right now. You don't look too happy.
And the thing about this is, the reason a lot of people were wondering why I chose to do the open challenge, and the reason being is because if you look at history, when people do open challenges, it's normally the people answering those open challenges that are the ones who don't normally get an opportunity. So I was really trying to have some kind of day off. I was expecting
you weren't doing what Brandon's like, I want to go wrestle. I want to have a match. You were basically like, not so fast, my friends.
Two sides of the same coin, I guess. Yeah. So, and here we got this guy.
Yeah.
And I was expecting some lowlife, maybe the guy I knocked out at World War II prior to my match. Maybe someone that hasn't really been seen on camera too often, but we have a dude from North Carolina that's walked the street, not from North Carolina, came up from North Carolina, who's walked the streets in New York his whole life, has a hell of a mouth.
I've never seen this individual the way he looks right now. I'm from almost where he's claiming to be, and I've never seen him.
So I used to have some friends that lived in his area in New York.
Okay.
I'm from like around Bayshore, so
Okay, I know Bayshore very well. Actually, that's where they make the Intamin's products. You have Intamin's where you are, like the
yeah,
Intamin's.
like all like the cookies and
Yep,
the cakes and stuff.
that's
Yeah.
where they made them. Bayshore and Long Island. Yep, that's where they.
Okay, cool.
Yep, yeah. But he's out here, and by the way, why did he need a megaphone?
You know, I feel like he's loud enough to where he doesn't need one, but he was demanding a lot of attention there. Talking about my shoes, calling me a mook, said some gabagool words and all this stuff, man.
You know, I actually have heard that word before. When I was a kid, my dad, who's no longer alive, I think did use that word before. I will admit, growing up in Brooklyn, that was a word I did hear a little bit. I did. I heard. I'm not gonna lie.
I was a little taken aback by his choice of verbiage, but yeah.
I can see that, but obviously he's prancing around you. But the fans don't seem to be too thrilled with him either.
Yeah, something that's pretty funny here though is if you watch.
I laugh.
I thought I was going to get the night off. I thought this guy was like, you know what? No, I thought I was going to wrestle someone else.
I'd rather wrestle you in your socks.
No stop, but he's broke. So stack when he knows when he goes back to the smoke.
Because I'll lose the copyright. But there he goes, though. But he's obviously he's leaving, though. He's leaving. Obviously it was nice of him to leave. Good to see him. But wait a minute, he comes right back in, and he decides after all he wants to have more than a chat with you. I think we're all basically here. We're all just having a good time. I guess at maybe Nikki Chuch's expense. I don't know. You're on mute.
Oh, I had a good time.
Yes, I know Nikki Chuch. Yeah, obviously, you're almost speechless, but yes, we're watching it.
This match I feel like was very difficult for the live viewers to get behind one of us because I'll be honest, I haven't been the greatest of individuals in the last 6 months or so.
A rare, I guess you might want to say, bad guy versus bad guy match.
I guess so. And if it's a charisma aspect, this guy was leaking charisma, but I've got the intelligence to get the job done usually.
You've got the intensity, the integrity, and the intelligence because that's from your state. Their home state would be Mr. Angle, whereas the word would be oozing because in New York, everything oozes because it's either chemicals or nuclear laced or just polluted. Yeah. Trust me, I know. But obviously, I digress. And he's taking off his suit jacket there, and he's getting ready to wrestle. And you're just rather calm there. You're rather calm, cool, and collected, Mr. Walker.
That's how I like to approach things. I feel like if you approach things with a hot head, if you approach things with steam coming out of your ears, it doesn't.
Maybe you're. I don't think I've asked you. Maybe in a distant way, you're related to Walker, Texas Ranger.
I don't like anything to do with Texas.
I figured that, but I said you had to ask anyway. But obviously, we're seeing here you two individuals, and interesting because in Brandon's match with Zachary Depew came at and wanted a strong start with the champion, whereas Nikki Chuch, he's not really going for the strong start right now. I would think with a guy like this who's a veteran, he's been up and down the independent wrestling circuit, made a name for himself, definitely in shape, but really almost taunting to the crowd. And I would just think that it would be more or less in his interest to just use his power and size to just try to get off to a quick start, don't you think?
Yeah, he's a strong dude. I can tell you that. There's been a couple times where he hoisted me up and it felt like there was just air coming up underneath me.
Yeah, I could see it here. He's definitely got some strength, and we'll let the chat talk about it in a few minutes. A lot of people are actually really interested in this, but he gets off to uses a submission hold there, kind of a tactic of an arm lock submission of some sorts. But then we see here you get off to a clever almost roll up there, nice little reversal there. And then you use kind of your own background there, and I don't think he's trying to bite at you, but he's getting rather.
He was doing something.
I don't want to know. Kids don't try this at home is my recent thing, but you look like you're not too afraid though. You're coming right back at him, and you seem like you're getting a little bit into the match in your own right, good sir.
I had to measure him up just as much as he had to like measure me up walking into this match. We both have never been in the ring with each other before. We've never had to do any kind of combat with each other before. So we've met each other, and that was about it.
Well, you more than met each other now, but I want to talk about this. This was one of the few spots in the match. First of all, there it goes, that missile drop kick. I literally felt like you did that from, around the globe. I mean, you really, that was not even the high rent district. That was almost like the global rent district. I mean, how on God's green earth did you go up that far?
I've been doing that move for a little bit now. I put that in my repertoire a couple months ago, I'd say, maybe about 3 months ago, and I feel like every time I do it, I hit it harder. I hit it on Tex. I was able to topple him with it.
Well, we're going to talk about that. I mean,
yeah,
we're going to talk about that. But
I hit it on Nicky Chooch here. I've hit it on some opponents in the past. I had a match with Behemoth. I think I took him down with that.
From the Prodigies, yep.
Yeah.
And, you're also just, I felt like you showed a lot of versatility here in the match.
I appreciate that. And that's really what I've been trying to do lately. I've been trying to figure out what my opponent's style is and adapt to the style that is opposite theirs and that works well for me against their style.
So do you feel then, all kidding aside, as an opponent, he brought out some of that from you?
I feel like definitely. And something that I've been in the past, and I feel like I still am, is explosive. You have times like this where the other guy is in control, and there's something that I can do. Not here, I got taken down.
Well,
but there's something I can do where I pop, and the person is down, out, or rung a loop.
Well, he definitely brings something to the table that's been different than some of your more recent opponents in DBW. So maybe that's that. But we are here. We're on Sportswire Radio with Silas Walker. We're watching his match from Thursday Night Thunder Punch in DBW. We want to thank DBW for allowing us to show the match here. And if you have a chance, please hit the sub button for DBW. I'll put that link up after this match. We're going to watch the other match that Mr. Walker had against Big Tex, and that'll be a match I'm really excited to watch here. But we're watching Nicky Chooch put his belt back. I don't think I've seen that in a wrestling match. Somebody have to, basically back up their belt. I don't know if that's one I'm going to see anytime soon again now.
I feel like that was a detriment for him in this match. He's had to adjust it a couple times.
Maybe he should have wrestled without the belt. I don't know.
I guess so.
But he hits you hard there with that, I guess, some variation of a clothesline there. And he's, sizing you up. And, that's going to hurt. That's going to definitely leave a mark.
That corner kick left a mark.
I could see that. No, that was a heavy corner kick. That was definitely one that we could have used in the U.S. World Cup last year. But that's a different conversation. Boy, they're going to really get mad at me now.
I was lucky here.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt.
I was lucky here. I knew he was going to try to win there, and I didn't know what I had to be able to avoid losing. So
is that a veteran tactic that you showed there by getting out of the ring, buying yourself some time to be able to kind of give yourself a breath here to hang in the match? Is that a veteran tactic on your end?
Of course it is.
All right. Well, I got to ask. I still got to ask you. I
mean, it doesn't take a veteran to be able to do that, but a lot of people refer to that as a veteran move.
We talked about that in Judgment's match with Brandon. There was some of that. There in that match. That's why I asked you. But your hand is definitely asking for a recount. But no.
Yeah, right there is where he hurt my hand, and I thought, man, I'm gonna have a cast on this one now.
Well, another injury once again, but thankfully that doesn't be the case. But obviously, Nicky Chooch is hitting you with those punches, and you're coming right back, though. You're definitely coming right back. And there it goes. Listen, here's the strength that you're about to show here for the audience. I mean, we were about to show it, but you were getting ready for it. And, this was exciting, but then he hits you here with a kick. And definitely not a corner kick, but a side kick there. And we're going to come back to that because what you were about to do, you had him in a fireman's carry, which alone showed your strength, but you'll finish the job. Spoiler alert for the audience here very shortly, but he's definitely laying into you, though, Nicky.
Back in the day when I knew this individual and I was wrestling, the move that I was trying to – I love that. The move that I was trying to win the match with was actually my finish back in the day. So maybe he knew he had that in his head. Blast from the Past or something.
You think he watched some of your old stuff?
Possibly, but I don't know why he wouldn't watch something more recent. So I was expecting him to watch something more recent. So I went back to previous moves, but he watched the previous moves. So there is a little bit of an intellectual battle going on before.
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of an edge. Knowing from where you are, where he's from, you're going to probably have the intellectual edge. Trust me, I know. Boy, I'm going to really ask for it there. But here he goes.
Third time is the charm, I'm telling you.
You know what? I got to say, that was, when I watched it, I was like, oh, I cannot wait to talk. I was so excited because what you did, what you did there, I mean, the strength that you had, I mean, that was heavy.
He's not light. I mean, a lot of these guys aren't light. I've fought some small individuals in DBW that I have been able to sling around.
But he's got more muscle, you might want to say.
Yeah. You got guys like Big Tex, which I can't budge. You got guys like Nikki Chooch that I've just had to fight with. Who
you fought Judgment last year, obviously.
I fought Judgment last year. A lot of the top dogs in DBW are larger individuals. Brandon is not small by any means.
Rowan Havoc is obviously a part
Havoc.
of DBW. And let's show that finishing one more time. I want to show it one more time for the audience because you really went up. And here we go. Okay, so we're going to show it one more time, and we'll get to people. I know a lot of people want to talk to you right now, but obviously here it goes. And yeah, I think hopefully your neck's okay, but it's definitely going to be okay. But obviously, what we're seeing here, and there you go. I mean, just looking at this, just looking at the strength. I mean, Lesnar likes strength from you, good sir. Lesnar likes strength. We don't need Brock Lesnar. We've got Silas Walker.
No, I got a clean bill too. That's the thing. Thank God
for that. Thank God.
Yeah.
That. You don't want any other stories out there.
So the thing about this move, and the thing about the way I wrestled in the past is I used to be a much bigger individual. I lost a lot of weight. I became a lot thinner. And now I'm trying to put a little bit of beef back on. And with that, I'm trying to bring back a lot of my power moves that I enjoy doing, whether it be to people that are bigger than me or not. Now, of course, there's going to be individuals that I'm not going to be able to do that to. You got your Jackson Sabres, and you got your Jackson Snows, and you got people like that. But maybe at some point, I'll be able to launch them all around.
You know what I was thinking about when you said that? There was a word my dad used to use, and he was into weightlifting. He was, always talked about weights, and I didn't really. I mean, I'm in shape, but I did other types of things. And the term was cut. You are cut. You're not like super duper muscular like we saw Nikki. Nikki Chooch is definitely a guy that fits into that range, but you're cut. Whereas you're in shape. You've definitely got some muscle. You've got something on your body, but you're not a big guy in terms of a muscle guy. That kind of how you feel, almost like you're cut in a way.
I'm always critical of myself. So I'm always going to be, you always have to be your own worst critic if you want to improve.
Sure.
So right now I can say that probably about 85 to 90% of me, but a little soft in the middle. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes it doesn't help, but we're getting there.
All right. You know what? Well, I think I want to bring in the chat. A lot of people want to talk to you right now. But before I do that, this is DBW's YouTube page. I want people to go out there and go give a sub. Please support DBW. DBW is almost at 4,000 subscribers. We got a lot of DBW coverage lately. So plus, please go out there and join them. So thank you for that. Let's keep this up for a minute or two. Let's get to some people. A lot of people have been waiting. Zilla, bless her heart, she was waiting 20 plus minutes for you. 20
wow.
Plus. She called you favorite wrestler. And for 5 days straight, she's asked me, when is Silas Walker? I had on Stud Bronson, pro wrestler, who's wrestling Savio Vega. Even in that chat, she asked about Silas Walker. So Stud Bronson knows who you are. World War Stud Bronson.
She's spreading the word around. She's spreading the word around.
Well, Zilla is definitely your biggest fan. Thank you. I appreciate that, Zilla. I appreciate your kind words. We definitely acknowledge Silas Walker. Yes, we bow down to him. We do bow down to him. We appreciate, and she respects you. Zilla is really going all out. She is going all out for you, good sir. And he definitely supports you no matter what. And thank you for that. Let's bring the champion up on the big screen. Speaking of old friends of yours, Chase Wakefield. We've had 2 of the 3 members of the OG Dawn's March, and I can't wait for November 6th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to have another match announcement there. And I'm very excited about that. And I want to give Chase a nice little plug here because Chase is now a regular on Sportswire. And I want to give, actually, this is where I'm going to ask you about Chase Wakefield, because Mr. Wakefield has got this whole little thing here that he's got for his, let's just say, wedding coming up. He's having a wedding invitational. So, Silas Walker, I had to ask you this question because, I asked Brandon this question last night on Sportswire, and I'll ask it right away. First of all, have you been invited to Chase Wakefield's wedding coming next year? Have you been invited? You obviously have a long history with Mr. Wakefield. Mr. Wakefield is here next Wednesday, but so far I haven't seen anything with Silas Walker. With your history, I mean, how does that make you feel? And do you expect to be there? And do you expect to be invited?
So the last time that him and I really, truly interacted with each other was quite a long time ago in DBW. It was when the original Don's March had completely fallen apart. I haven't really spoken to him a lot other than through these shows or here and there in a group chat. So possibly, I guess we'll see what the future holds. You never know what can happen. Talking about the Don's March, that brings back some pretty good memories. And once an invitation comes out, if that does come out, I can guarantee you that I'll be there.
You'll be there. Well, I asked Mr. Castelli that, and he was a little more diplomatic. He said, "Yeah, I hope to be there." And then I asked him, "Well, you're engaged also, Brandon. Would you, with your other half, your better half, obviously, would you have a wedding invitational for a wrestling event?" And he was like, "No, I don't think so. I don't think that'll go over well with my other half, even though his other half is usually there at all the DBW shows." But he said no, but Mr. Wakefield is obviously definitely got a patron saint there of a soon-to-be wife, because his wife agrees to this. And
yeah.
I mean, you got to tell you something. You definitely got to get married to that, because your better half, Jane, obviously putting up for to put up a wrestling event while you're getting married. It really takes a lot to there, and that's why Chase has definitely got the right person there for him. But but I don't think when you get married you'll be doing the same thing, right?
Probably not. It's unprecedented now. It's going to be a little more precedented if I do it.
That's what I think. We were talking about this a lot on Sportswire recently. I never heard this before. And I've had a lot of guys on. We had Stud Bronson on. We had on, Rad Dad, Rad Hazard, Sick Rick, all those GBYWN guys. And this came up, and they couldn't think of it if there was ever one. If they couldn't think of it, I mean, Copper Dragon, I spoke to Copper Dragon about this, and Copper Dragon said to me, Tom, I never heard that before.
No, I've seen some proposals. I've seen in-ring proposals. I've never seen in-ring weddings or weddings around a wrestling show. So it's definitely a first.
He's going to make history. And he might have one of the greatest super shows ahead in history. I actually think this might be one of the greatest super shows in history. I think it might be.
It could be. Just be careful who you invite. You don't want to have them overshadow your wedding, man.
Well, that's on him. But he's a regular now, and he'll talk about it. So we'll let him figure that out. Hello to Chase Wakefield. We're gonna get to him. We're gonna get to him after the comments. So I'm gonna save him. We're gonna save him. And by the way, this is Chase's wedding. Go out there and go follow him. So we'll take care of that. Chase will have plenty of time. I want to say a little about guest Godric Sandwell. Godric was here last Tuesday. He's going to be, as we talked about, you're in his chair. He's going to be here, I think, November 19th. He's back on November 19th. He's the Three Rivers champion in PWX. They have a great show coming up here.
I was here for that show. He announced the show that's going to be happening near Pittsburgh.
Yes, November 2nd.
That I'm considering still going to. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. It's about 2 hours away, but we'll give it a shot.
Well, you know what? I think there'll be some other PWX individuals here shortly, so we'll go with that. Yes, hello there. And somebody says not the vape. We'll leave that at that.
Yeah. You know what? That's all right.
We'll leave that at that. I want to say hello to my friend Jacob Frost, who's actually announced his retirement from his backyard wrestling career. He's in BTW right now with a guy you probably heard of, RJS, and some other people.
I've seen those guys. I was here for some of your shows with that.
Yes. Jacob Frost is actually, he's been very interested in DBW, but he's in Nebraska. I don't know if he's going to make the trip. That's a little
far. Yeah.
Jacob Frost is a good man. He's going to be here very soon to talk about different things, and he's enjoying it. I'm going to get to Big Tex after the chat. Hello to Jacob Frost. Hello to Zilla. Hello there. Zilla does want to say that she saw nothing wrong that Silas Walker did. But we'll save that powder here. Big Tex is feuding with Zilla. Oh boy, here we go. This individual says here, Tex was cheated. Justice for Big Tex. I don't know about that, but we'll talk about it. My main man, Barry Gutman, is here. Barry, I hope you're doing well. My wingman, Barry Gutman, from my home neck of the woods in Brooklyn. How you doing, Barry? Good, sir. Silas Walker is a man that's in his 20s. Let's just go with that. He's in his 20s. Thank you, Zilla, for asking. This individual, who we know very well, would like to say, you got caught, Tex, plain and simple, a.k.a. Mr. K.C. James. So somebody else in DBW is on your good side. Mr. Sandwell would like to say, had I known about an open challenge, perhaps this gentleman could have paid a visit and make your acquaintance. Well, who knows? Never say never.
Say about that. I got something to say about that.
You want to say about all right, you don't.
I was here for the Sportzwire episode with Mr. Godric Sandwell.
Yes.
And he caught my attention. He was
really
like a very intelligent individual, and very well spoken, eloquent, some might say. Yeah. If you want to meet my acquaintance, the door's open. Just be careful.
Wow.
Just be careful the way you do it. It could be a good acquaintance. It could be a bad acquaintance. I guess we'll see.
Well, you know what? All right. Well, you know what?
Great minds think alike.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's a friendly nod. I wouldn't say it's respectful. Let's put it that way. That's Mr. Sandwell is obviously a well-established figure. So are you. Speaking of figures who are going to be here tomorrow, a cool cohort of Mr. Sandwell's, Mr. Andrew Lovelace is here. How you doing? He'd like to say a few things. Yep, Andrew Lovelace is here 8 o'clock tomorrow with Max Strong, the Hammer. It's going to be Hammer time, that's for sure.
I've seen a lot of their videos. They are extremely entertaining. I met Lovelace one time.
That's where you got to be on TikTok, because on TikTok, a lot of this stuff they put on TikTok is where they actually
find a way to get on there for sure.
Well, just watch it. You don't have to be on TikTok. You're a busy man. You're an intelligent man. And yes, he's in the house. Had to come in and check with one of my favorite teams. I had the honor of working in Chase. Yeah, he worked Chase Wakefield, and in the beginning of the year, he worked with him in Amplified Enterprise. That's we worked with him, and where he lost the tag. He was the tag champ there. He lost the title, so that just reminded him of more bad things. But Chase didn't win the belts. He was the one that was pinned, though. Yes, it was an honor to work with Violent Love. They were the tag team champs. Very nice looking venue, the DBW Arena. Very nice looking venue.
Oh yeah, we're trying to improve it every single time we have an event. So
it looks better and better every time I watch it. I mean, it's better and better.
Something that I really want to do is you see in a lot of the old early 2000s wrestling shows, posters of screenshots and things of the old events that have happened, or something. I want to have those around the arena.
You know what that reminds me of also? If you played in a band, and sometimes the band would play out, and there'd be posters in the venue or outside the venue. Yeah, it's got that kind of vibe too, which is a cool thing. And Mr. Sandwell and obviously Mr. Lovelace know each other. How tall are you? 5'11"?
6 on the dot, I'd say. With the boots on.
You and I are the same height then, more or less. You're the same height. Cool. Nikki Chu, yeah, I mentioned that he's done very well.
Yeah.
In North Carolina, he was on a couple of WWE guys. I think he was on the show where Judgment, I think, and Aaron Jones teamed up against the Barbarian, if I'm not mistaken. That was in January or February. They did a show in North Carolina, and Judgment, I think, and Aaron Jones. I think somebody can maybe fact check me on it. They teamed up against the Barbarian. So that was. Somebody can check me on that. One of my guys here, Il Drago, is in the house. Of course, the Samoan Dragon himself is here. Tonight seemed like a great night. Yes, and we've brought Peace and Glory back. He is the ladder winner there in our friends in Iowa. And I'm doing great. I'm watching wrestling. I'm talking with people. We have a nice crowd. We're having a good time. And thank you for tuning in, my man. Zilla would like to say, who is Nikki Chooch? Nikki Chooch has wrestled in the Independence in North Carolina. He has also been seen in a company called Versus the World Wrestling, which is kind of like a sister company to DBW. They've done some crossover work together. A lot of DBW guys are there. It's Versus the World Wrestling, and you definitely want to check them out. It's a very well run company, and you would definitely want to check them out. We'll move on here. Yes, hello there. My friend Woo Riders from Jacksonville, Florida is here, and I would like to say hello. How you doing, Woo Riders? Yes, VTW, plug VTW. Speaking of people who I know are waiting for us to talk about Big Tex, Can we please not talk about Tex? He tried multiple times. I know, but I still have to talk about him. I mean, I have to do it. It's my due diligence. But versus the World Wrestling, that's what it stands for. Now let's go here to some more comments. Mr. Snow has definitely obviously got something to say here, and some. But also here, let's, however, talk, no disrespect, Silas, talk about the SOB Zachary Depew and that complete BS he did at World War II. Yes, he thought what happened to Mrs. Depew was bad. His entire family is now in the crosshairs. We're talking about, obviously, that World Extreme Championship that he lost. Yeah. And obviously, you're obviously, do you want to comment on this? It's up to you, good sir.
Yeah, I'll say something about it. Depew is someone who is still on my bad side. He broke my thumb. He shattered this bone right here. If you take a look,
about 2.5 months ago. Yep.
This one, I've got this sticking out, and that's not going to go away. That's never going to go away. And I blame him for that. I blame him, and I blame Stephen Gaynor for making the match happen. That's another strike for him.
I'm glad. I asked you if Stephen Gaynor had a bias towards you. Goes right off what I said.
So, but yeah, I'm sorry to see what happened to Jackson Snow. But now, with that being said, with him losing his World Extreme Championship, and with Judgment losing his World Championship, I believe I'm now the longest reigning champion in DBW.
And he lost 2 championships, Judgment.
He did. He did. I believe that makes me the longest reigning champ right now. And I'm going to try to carry that moniker as long as I'm able to.
But you know what? That's why you are legendary, and that's why you're global.
But that match against Sammy Nothing that Jackson Snow had, that's something that I don't want to be involved in. No matter the role I'm on, no matter the momentum I have, I'm not too fond of those thumbtack battles. I'm not too fond of those.
You don't strike me in the vein of these hardcore guys that come on Sportswire, like Jimmy Controversy, Mikey Anarchy, Jesse Daniels, Cato. These guys are in the Carnage Cup. I'm going to say you stick to what you do best in the ring.
I've had my moments with it. Maybe I'll return someday, but I'm not.
I don't know. I gotta be honest. I love those guys, but I think that's you got to have a certain skill with that.
You got to have a reason. You got to have a reason. Yeah.
Well, they definitely have their reasons, and
yeah.
We're gonna move on here. We're gonna move on because I don't want to be thrown in thumbtacks. Neither do you. Versus the world. Yes, Mr. Lovelace would like to say tape studying, taking future notes here. Mr. Lovelace always with his notebook. He's probably right now writing these things down in his notebook, knowing Mr. Lovelace. That's what he's doing. Yes, that's exactly what he's doing. Mr. Sandwell would like to respond. If you desire a battle of intelligence, look no further than yours truly. I'll see you on the 19th, Godric Sandwell. I'll see you on the 19th.
I'll see you too.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good deal. Definitely need to be doing that if you face us again, Lovelace, because the next time it's going to be different. And Chase Wakefield doesn't look like that anymore, by the way.
Oh, no, he doesn't. And I can say it will be different.
Duly noted.
It will be different if it does happen again. I really had a good time in that match with Mr. Andrew Lovelace and his partner.
Well, we're having a good time right now because we definitely agree about Mr. Good Godric Sandwell. I love and I like and I appreciate the DBW Global Champion, legendary Silas Walker, ring work talent. I mean, Zilla is just team
love, like, and appreciate, man.
And Zilla, by the way, I got to be honest. Zilla, I don't even think Zilla gave that to Big Man Cam. I don't think Zilla gave that to Justin Parsley, a friend of Brandon Castelli's, by the way. I don't think she's given that to anybody on Sportswire. Jack Delta didn't get that when he's been here, but you got that. You got that. I think RJS didn't get that. I don't think any of these different people that have come on here have gotten that, but you did. You did. There you go. I'm going to make Depew regret everything. And he definitely, Mr. Depew, regrets having that match with Brandon Castelli the way it ended, thanks to Mr. Snow and him standing outside there. You deserved it, Snow. There will be a war. I got a whole ton of new stuff on standby. Mr. Snow does say hello to both of us. We appreciate that very much. Mr. Drago says hello. My man, Ox McCoy, speaking of hardcore champions out there, a longtime veteran who just won the IMF hardcore title. He and I were talking about different things. I'll leave out there. But he would like to say hello to you. He's been watching all my shows, Mr. McCoy, and he was enjoying today's show. So I appreciate that very much, Mr. McCoy. Mr. McCoy is a good man. You want to be on his good side. Yes, hello there. Also, glad you've seen the shows. Hopefully only good things, as it'll only get better. big changes are coming to BTW next season. They're in Roseburg.
I want to say something about them. So
please.
I know we've had a big debate, and not we, the royal we, have had a big debate in recent times about this trampoline and ring and all of that. And I'm not trying to draw any controversy, and I'm not.
No, you're good.
I'm going to say this. I want to say that for being on a trampoline, you guys do exceptionally well.
Absolutely.
You guys sell very well. You guys react very well to the things that are happening in the match. All that stuff. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a ring.
Yes, Jacob Frost wrestled a few matches in the Indies, and RJS wrestled Navon McDonald. And he wrestled Jack Dempsey.
Okay. I'm good friends with Navon McDonald. He's been here. I've been there. I'm good friends with Navon.
RJS, he talks about him on and off the air very highly. I mean, RJS went up to NUW. He went up there a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So some of those guys have been in a ring.
Okay. Well, I don't know what changes he's talking about coming to BTW, but if it is getting a ring, that is awesome, and maybe we will see each other someday. Yeah.
I can confirm nor deny. I have no idea what the announcement is, but they are a great company. They're wrestling where they set up. It looks like in God's country, and the great group of guys like you guys in DBW, like the guys in ROEW, just good people inside the ring, outside the ring. Really a solid group of people, and that's why I like to bring them on. And I really like Jacob Frost a lot. And he'd be a great opponent for you one day. He really would be a great opponent for you. You and him could do some work. Tell Big Tex back on the line. We're going to get to him after the comments. We're going to get to him. And a lot of people here want to talk to you. Wait, what? Jacob Frost? No, Jacob Frost is wrestling still, but he's not going to be a backyard wrestler anymore. Basically, his backyard wrestling career is coming to an end at the beginning of 2025. That's basically what it is. Also, El Drago loves your Jim Cornette shirt.
Thank you. I'm a huge Jim Cornette fan.
You look like you would be a Jim Cornette. You got the glasses. You got the look. I've tried to.
That was unintentional.
Okay, well, I will tell you this. I like Jim Cornette a lot, but I can't listen to the whole 4-hour podcast. I can listen to like drips and drabs, but the whole 4-hour.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to it when I can, and then I'll pause it and hit play.
I have Sirius XM, so I'll listen to it on my newspaper route. So I'll listen to my route's about like a few hours. So if I can, I'll listen to most of it. But I appreciate what he's done for our business. Perhaps a trip to DBW is on the Lexicon.
The Lexicon.
There you go. Wow.
Didn't know you had a lexicon. That's pretty cool. I'd like to see it.
I will ask him about it in 3 weeks. I will ask him about it. Also, he's definitely a cult member. He's a cult.
Awesome, man. Yeah,
I love Ox. Ox is just a good dude, and he said he's going to make sure the Mud Show moniker lives on an IMF.
IMF, that's your company, right?
What's that? That's Iowa. Yeah, the IMF. No, I'm the PWF. So the company that I own a third of is the PWF. That was the company it used to be ran by Atomic Titan, and then he sold the company originally to Dalton Skull and Xavier Thorne, and then I bought a third of the PWF, which is where Justin Parsley is the champion. Ox wrestles in the IMF in Iowa, so that's where his. But Ox has been around before that. He's a veteran yarder. He's been around.
Yeah, I've heard his name a lot before.
He's been around a long time. Like Ox goes back, like really goes back. Hello to our friends in Wisconsin. Liz would like to say from WC. Much respect to you. Yes, Liz has been tuning. I know they have a big show coming up where they're facing a company in Illinois. Speaking of trampoliners, the ring guys they're taking on trampoliners on Halloween. Nevertheless, it's STBW versus WCE. That'll be one for the ages.
That'll be cool.
It'll be a lot of fun. They're here that night. Hello to management. Yes, he'll be not in the backyard and no longer is Jacob Frost. There you go. Yes, thank you for that. Zilla wants to tell everybody, as she did yesterday, she's between 5 feet and 5'1". Yes, okay. And Jacob Frost is going to wrestle everywhere. So maybe he will come to DBW. He just said he'll wrestle everywhere. He'd be I tell you what, he would be a really good talent in DBW. He would be a guy, he would fit in his size, his look. He would fit in very well. He's got
a good look. I've seen some of his posts on Instagram. Definitely.
Good. He's a good dude. He would fit in very well. Very well. Yep. I'm not saying heartbroken. He's here in the chat right now. We can't talk about like he's dead. He's here right now. Yes, but not sure if I'll do underground stuff yet. So we'll see. maybe DBW still has a shot. DBW still has a shot because you guys really aren't the underground. So we'll just say there's a shot. Road trip. You never know there. You never know there. But obviously, okay, I think we've got a lot of comments, but now I think it's time to talk about what I've been waiting to talk about here for the first 50 minutes of the show. That is Mr. Big Tex and the Big Tex Failure Tour, because the Big Tex Failure Tour, everybody this year's been talking about the Taylor Swift Eras Tour, how successful it's been. But conversely, the other way, the Big Tex Failure Tour has to be one of the biggest failure tours, not just of 2024, you might want to say, but in, wrestling history.
Oh, yeah.
It stopped at World War II, and we're going to show that match here, where another huge part, another stop on the Big Tex Failure Tour, because you were wrestling Big Tex on that Failure Tour in front of a sold-out crowd and a packed house in a big venue, where once again, Big Tex obviously continued the Big Tex Failure Tour. Now, if your consent, good sir, I'm going to put that match up on the screen, and we're going to go down and relive that classic, that gem you had with Big Tex as a part of the Big Tex Failure Tour for your DBW Global Championship. I know that just, I've been waiting to do that for about 2 weeks.
Oh, I bet. We've been talking about this one for a while, and I hope the viewers enjoy it as well.
Oh, they're going to like it. They're going to like. I don't know if Mr. Texas, who's going to come back in here, is going to like it, but let's come back in here. We've got it right where we want it. Okay, I've got it right here in the page. Here we go. I'm going to go like this. I have it right here. Okay, there we go. Okay, here he is. Big Tex is coming out, and obviously he's here, and there he has it. He's looking around, and
he looked like he trimmed down a little bit before this match. I don't know what it was, but I'll give him that. He looked like he trimmed down a little bit.
Maybe. Well, I think he was here, I want to say, like a week or two before this, and maybe this was where he put everything on the line to win this. Maybe this was the match that he thought, after everything he went through these past, I guess, 9 months it's been since he wrestled Judgment for the first time at Merry Mayhem, that this was where he could finally win the big one. And here you are, and you're obviously, in your state of mind, and you're going out there, and just tell us what's going through your mind here.
Not knowing the outcome of this, you feel like my state of mind would be.
And there's you and Gator again, by the way. That recurring theme.
Oh, yeah. I going into a match with an individual that is twice my size, you don't know the outcome. But in my upbringing, I did martial arts for about 15 years. I became a 3rd-degree black belt, and I became an instructor that created black belts.
Oh, wow.
And one of the things that I was told from the beginning when I first started training was, you already did it. You just have to go out there and show everyone how. And I was just thinking that. You already did this. You have to show everyone how. It's already done. And that kind of helped me get the nerves out. Because going into a match with someone that is probably at least 350 pounds, probably more, who is angry, who has been screwed over, who is trying to prove to everyone that he is not the failure that he is. It's a tall task ahead of me. And I'm probably going to get a headache watching this from some of the things, because this might have been the hardest I have ever been slammed.
But you've been in the ring for a long time. You go back. I mean, you're a guy that goes back a long time. And for you to say that, and we certainly see that, I guess, sit-down powerbomb there. I mean, Big Tex was trying to put you away right off the bat there, sir.
Yeah, he almost did. I'm going to say I saw some colors. I'm going to say if I had not retreated right there and he stayed on top of me, he might have won within the first minute of that match.
You think that he put everything in it from his mindset to try to put you away early? Because
probably he might have drained himself early. Because if you watch this match, he was dominant throughout most of this thing.
Oh, for sure. Listen, I watched the match before I went on the air, and I thought the ending was one way and it turned into another way. But I was going to ask you this question. I don't know if you've thought about it in this way, but do you feel that the longer that the match went, that Big Tex in his mind, it would be almost kind of that doubt that I can't win this, because he looked like he wanted to put you away at the very beginning, because that's probably what would keep him from not thinking about that doubt. Do you think that's kind of a fair statement?
I think so, and that's kind of been his specialty, is staying on people right off the beginning. One of the biggest wins of his career was against Jacob Ryan, and he did that from the beginning, and he beat Jacob Ryan, but it's because there wasn't a championship on the line.
Right. But you're right now, he's just toying with you.
And normally, you'd see, I'd be able to like shove someone's foot away, but this guy is putting so much weight. He knows the rules.
Well,
He's got.
Listen, you said things about him here on Sportswire. We know the video you put out, basically talking about him. You've said things in the DBW arena. So this has really been a personal feud. And we know also what you meant to him last year. I mean, he kind of looked at you. You were like more than a friend in terms of just what you meant to him in DBW. So, yeah, this has been a personal thing that's been building up really for the better part of over a year.
You're right. I saw him as a brother, possibly closer than a brother, but I got fed up. It was now or never for me, and it was now or never for Chaos Conspiracy. And I did what I had to do, and I've said it a million times. I did what I had to do, and if I didn't do it, we would have a completely different landscape in DBW, and that's part of it.
And listen, the group's results, he dragged the group down from a success standpoint. There's no denying that.
And I can almost truly say part of the reason that Robert Pearson has not been around has to be because of Tex. Has to be because of this strife that Tex has caused. There it is again. That missile drop kick. And it takes down a nearly 400-pound monster.
It's a man that doesn't
put him away.
Yeah, a man doesn't go down easily. You could see it in his eyes.
He's almost like a greased pig. You can't get a hold of him, even if you are strong enough.
Stop. I think that's going to get me canceled on Sportswire. That, not everything else I've said, everything else I've done, a greased pig. There you said it. Thank you, Silas Walker. But yeah, that, obviously the only thing that was missing was the apple in the pig. When you put the pig.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Even that one.
That's you're asking for it there. But Big Tex, you definitely used your martial arts background there a little bit, and Big Tex is definitely he's dazed and confused there, to quote Led Zeppelin. But he's going to bounce back up, and he's a big guy. He ain't going down easily.
No, definitely not. And maybe that was a mistake trying to send him off the ropes there. He could have easily not cooperated with me. He went with me on purpose so he could take me down. And that's a move he's put people away with.
Yep.
That's a move that I had to go to a chiropractor for 2 months after he hit it on me in that battle royal.
You know what they might say? That would be like an episode of Looney Tunes where somebody gets splashed like that. They have to take the spackle and just
dispatch the big
But that slap hurt. I'm
tired of getting smacked. Chooch did that too.
Well, maybe Chooch was watching, but Big Tex,
maybe he was.
He slammed you there, and Andrew Lovelace even said greased pig. So Lovelace used it. So we'll maybe mention that into his segment tomorrow with Max Strong. But Big Tex is definitely, he's choking you. He's, like you said, I just think this match was personal. This was where I really felt he put all his eggs in this basket to win here. That's just what
I would have put all my eggs in the basket if I were him. But if I were him, I would have came up with a plan a long time ago to not be in this situation.
So you think he never learned? I've had him on so many times these last 9 months, and he never learned from whether it was the Jackson Snow matches, whether it was even the Holy Grail, it was just the whole thing with Judgment, things with you. He's never learned then.
I don't think so. And maybe this was the lesson that he needed. But I guess we'll see going forward. It might have been the last stop. It could have been his final destination on the failure tour.
Well, I hope the failure tour continues.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's pretty funny.
Taylor's continuing with the Errors tour. So why not it continue here with the failure tour? But Big Tex is definitely not hitting you in the mouth there. But you're getting mad here. You're definitely getting mad.
Turn on the sound here. Turn on the sound here. I'm not happy about what happened, but I just want people to hear this.
Big Tex Roadhouse, look out! Oh, what is he going for?
No.
Oh my God! Seriously, that's Aaron Judge at that when he actually gets. Oh my God!
That was a sickening thud. His shoulder bounced all the way over there.
Home, whoever you are right now.
We've got enough shoulder injuries here.
You're saying I'm sorry.
Don't try this at home, whoever you are.
Yeah,
It hurts.
don't try this. That was my shoulder. That was my lip. That was my hip.
Boys, come on, let's bring it back in.
Bounced like a bad chick.
I'm going to make you suffer for everything you put me through over these last few months.
He pancaked him. That wasn't a chop my ass. He pancaked him right in the chesticle area. That right there's what it sounds like. And I liked it. That's what it sounds like when you take. Put some chocolate chips on it. When you take a frying pan and hit somebody with it, that's what it sounds like. That's what it feels like.
Hey, come on, bring it back
That
in.
frying pan of a hand that Big Tex has. Pancakes, baby.
You can mute it again if you want.
Maybe. All right, we'll keep it on silent again because
Yeah.
I mean that definitely. I mean that hurt. That really.
That flooring. I've been vying for padding to be on the outside of the ring. We're getting.
Maybe they will now.
Maybe
Maybe they
at
will.
some
For your safety, you're the global champion. You're legendary. They should definitely.
Yeah, I might have some pull, but that general manager, he's
Gainer,
nasty.
maybe you're convincing me now, Gainer. It's an election season. You're convincing me now that my vote should be that Gainer is undermining you.
I believe so. There's a conspiracy going on, and I don't know who all is involved in it, but I know he is.
Chaos conspiracy, but you are trying to get him down. You are trying to get him down, and obviously you're doing everything you can. I could see the pain and anguish that you're in there, good sir. Just
I was trying to move him because I've been doing this move for quite some time, and you can't drag him, you can't move him. When he lands where he lands.
Nice
and I didn't get all of it. I got my side on him there.
Macho Man just now.
I didn't get all of that one, and I feel like if I did, it might have done the job, but I went back to it. I feel like this one did a lot better. I used to do this move all the time, but like I was talking about that flying bump card that hurts a little bit when you win. That's all right.
Yeah, well, that one landed. That was a
that one was flush.
Papa Dragon would like that elbow. I'm going to tell Mr. Dragon to rate this match. I'm going to,
awesome.
Your wish is my command. I just spoke to Mr. Dragon.
I've seen Papa Dragon's videos with the ratings before, and this is where I got frustrated. Because I can't hit my finish that I want to on Big Tex. I can't pick this guy up. So I was feeling like, I might just have to disqualify myself. And here's the ref getting involved.
Wait,
so
you've been in this a long time. Are you getting frustrated? Because a veteran like yourself wouldn't have had to have resort to that.
So I can tell you this. The frustration may have been staged to get the referee to turn his back.
But
the decision has already been made.
But there's something that we go back to when this match is decided. You did something there that was a veteran tactic.
I'd like to believe if anything I've done that you've shown on this show is a veteran tactic, I'd like to believe it was that. Because you can't not go into something without a plan. And the fact that he was able to kick out after I punched him in the face shows a lot of toughness with Tex. And I was trying to beat him down, but he got that burst of energy, almost similar to what Brandon had in the match with Judgment.
And you know what? I think that's a great point because I think he and Brandon were almost in the same predicament.
Almost. And that is a hell of a choke slam. I've been hit with that more than once before. And that's the 3.
I thought it was a 3 wire, and then I think you came in and said not so fast, and I went back and I watched the ending and I rewatched the match a couple of times, but it appears that the DBW Global Champion is no more the DBW Global Champion, but you used your hand there. You did use your hand, and you just went like that though, and is that trying to get the referee's attention there, good sir? That's the veteran tactic in you.
I was trying to get his attention, and here you see he's coming over to me. And I'm telling him, and I can barely stand at this point. I'm out of breath. I thought I was going to throw up while I was trying to tell the referee this.
He looked at something, but here's the referee there looking, and he pulls something out there, and Big Tex
cheated, man.
The failure.
Brass knuckles. What'd he do that for? He would have been the champion if he didn't do that. But cheaters never win, Big Tex. You get what you get, and you don't get upset.
Well, I cheated one time in my life in the 3rd grade, and I actually I got an A, and then I, for whatever reason, blurted out I cheated, and I got let's just say things handed to me differently. But you find a way, good sir, right away to knock Big Tex, and you're the DBW Global Champion once again, and the failures tour continues, and this might have been the most spectacular failure of the tour to date.
I feel like it was because he technically did it, but he messed up. He messed up, and this is something. This is something that I'm still not sure how to address, because this is someone that I actually thought was close to me. This is someone that I actually saw as a brother, and this
a man that you've done a lot for, a man that you helped in terms of getting him on top in DBW with the global, for the tag team championships, and a man that in other places was in this little company called GTS. I mean, so this is somebody that in Jacob Cassidy that you have had a close relationship, and you thought that you were still on the same page with,
We won our championships on the same night. We did. And well, did we win our I get so many things mixed up, man. They won their championship after I beat Ace Christian, and we won the same exact way. They won their championships in the way that I showed them, which is explosiveness out of nowhere. They got the roll up and they got the pinfall. And I feel like they've given me a lot of credit, both Jacob Cassidy and Robert Pearson. And even taking away everything to do with Big Tex. Those were my boys, and I told them, I am never going to leave you, and I am never going to turn my back on you. But you better not do that to me.
But they turned, and especially Cassidy there. I mean, you didn't see that one coming.
Maybe I should have. I was a little hot-headed after he lost the tag team championships with his poor decision of making Jay Luther his tag partner. And I wasn't going to touch Jacob Cassidy. I was mad at the joke, the fool, the jester, Jay Luther. And I went out and I laid him out and I did what I had to do. And then Jacob Cassidy got hot-headed. He wanted to shove me. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to leave. I'll leave and I'll let him simmer this over. He's mad he lost his belts. I understand. I would be too. But he decided to come out and ruin my moment. I've had multiple moments that have been ruined by multiple people in Chaos Conspiracy now. And like I said before, this is done.
But
Chaos Conspiracy is over.
What is Chaos Conspiracy? Now, I mean, Big Tex is on a historical failures tour. Robert Pearson, we haven't seen in, 3-4 months. Jacob Cassidy, what I just saw after World War, seems like Jacob Cassidy and you aren't necessarily brothers anymore. I mean, so is Chaos Conspiracy even such a thing?
So when Chaos Conspiracy came to DBW, it consisted of 2 people. And those 2 people were Jacob Cassidy and Robert Pearson. They were brothers. They are brothers. They are a tag team that is a force to be reckoned with. And I will say that to this day. I will say that on my deathbed. But where it went wrong was Tex. Where it went wrong was Pearson leaving. Where it went wrong was Cassidy not being able to control his emotions. But what Chaos is now, Chaos has left those 2 individuals. Chaos has left Big Tex. I am Chaos. If you want to talk about what Chaos is the act of constant change. If you look up that definition in multiple dictionaries, it is constant change.
Well,
and I have done nothing.
You're a very intellectual fellow, so you would know.
I have done nothing but change things in DBW since I won that number one contenders championship, since I formed Chaos Conspiracy's big group and made us successful, since I made them the tag team champions, and since I've won the global champion. If I didn't do any of that, the landscape in this place would be so much different. I am change and I am chaos, not those two idiots. It's me.
You say that. Now, you say that they're idiots, and you say a lot about big techs. And before I bring something to your attention, Zilla did want to say that she's got a crush on you. So,
okay,
big crush on you, though.
Okay,
just think about that for a second.
Thank you.
But you've said a lot about big techs, and I guess I'm gonna allow you to say, if big techs was still around, what would you want to say to big techs directly?
I want to say keep your chin up.
Keep chin up.
I would want to say go away for a little bit.
As
the old guys used to say, go away and learn a new hold. You need to do something to better yourself before you come back. You need to come back as a whole new big techs. I said this once to you before, and I will say it again. Greed gets all of us in the end. And big techs, you will be grateful when it gets you.
Grateful. He'll be grateful. So he should go away for a while, and he should maybe learn a new hold and, just stay away from you and DBW for a while. But, Silas Walker, and I really apologize. I want to say this is nothing to do with me. As a matter of fact, it has nothing to do with Stephen Gaynor here. But apparently, right now, in my stream, backstage, is Big Tex himself. And Big Tex has decided that he wants to say something, not only to you, but to everybody watching out there and to the DBW universe. And obviously, I'm going to have to bring him up here right now. And I know this is not his time. This is your moment. This has been your moment to shine. We've had a great turnout. A lot of people have been here. Everybody's been enjoying your success. And Big Tex apparently has something that he wants to get off his chest, sir. And I'm going to have to bring him right now live on Sportzwire Radio here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to. I know it pains me to say it, but Big Tex is here. And, sir, I'm just going to let you take it away.
I'm not happy with you. You know damn well I'm not happy with you, Silas. You had to cheat me out of my global championship because you can't beat me. You've proven it time and time again. The last time we faced, you couldn't beat me. You were on the losing streak that I was on, that I'm on right now. Remember, I slammed your back against that ring apron. Do you remember, or has your brain gone fuzzy from this turn all of a sudden?
Oh, I remember. I remember, Big Tex. Here's the thing about you. You've done all these things to hurt me. You've done all these things to cause me pain. But you are the villain in all of this because it is because of you that Chaos Conspiracy fell apart. It is because of you that you have been on this failure tour. And it is because of you that I did what I had to do at Total Domination. And it is because of you that you were outsmarted at World War II.
Okay, back up here. I'm not the one that failed Chaos Conspiracy. You did that when you turned on me. I just happened to show Jacob Cassidy the light at that point. That was your biggest mistake. You see, you don't know what goes on backstage. You focus on you. However, me and Chaos talk. Me and Cassidy talk all the time. You see, I'm the one who told him to pick Jay Luther. You see, with Rob gone, it wasn't my fault also, by the way. That was all you. Yeah, just think. Think about that for a minute. Me and Cassidy came up with the idea of bringing Jay Luther into Chaos. With Rob being gone, we needed someone else to take over those titles. And why not Jay Luther? Same experience? Why not?
More experience, even some would say.
Same amount of losses, too.
Ooh. Would you say, Big Tex, that
A group full of losers is what you're trying to
failed?
assemble. Is a group full of losers.
But you said, Big Tex, that Silas Walker was the one that failed to realize things, but he's the one with the global championship.
Yes, but you noticed it also. Those brass knucks had to come into play. He had to hide them in my kick pads.
But that's a veteran tactic there. Veteran wrestler does what he can, and the record books doesn't matter if it was illegal or not. And he's the one with what should be your championship for all intents and purposes.
I held that title for a good 2 minutes before that ref overturned. I now have a taste
I don't
of
think
what
it's
it
in the
feels
record
like.
books, though.
I don't care if it's in the record books. I have a taste of what it feels like there. Silas, you may have unleashed something on the DBW universe now that I don't think anyone wants. There has been a monster deeply hidden away underneath this nice guy cowboy persona that now you may have finally unleashed. And for that, I will say this now. I thank you for that.
No, wait. You thank Silas Walker? You thank him?
Hey, you know what? I'll take credit where credit is due. But what I'm gonna say now is me causing this monster to come out, me unleashing this. That's just another proponent to what I said is I am chaos. I am change, and you cannot stop change from happening. Do what you want, Tex. Go be a monster, but you know what's going to happen if you mess with me. And you've seen what happens. I will outsmart you, and I will leave you laying in the center of that ring, and this time I will break your nose.
Oh, that could be your trick or treat, good sir.
By the way, how's that head of yours after that power bomb? Still seeing a couple stars there? Maybe
the only
after
star
that
I see is in the camera with me.
Maybe that shot to the ring post didn't help you much either there with your cockiness there. But like I said, I can thank you for unleashing something in me now. You unleashed something in me, and I guarantee you it's something that's going to put a hurting through the rest of DVW's roster. I'm now starting back at square one. I've told myself it's time. Square one, work my way back up to being a championship contender.
But that could be years from now. That could be years. I mean, Silas Walker is the longest. He's the longest reigning singles champion in DBW right now. I mean, that could be. You could have to wait for years until you have to go back to the title shot because you had title shot after title shot this whole year. I mean, it's sad to say in a way, but this failures tour, I mean, was a long tour. It certainly does rival the Eras tour.
You're right. It could take years. You know, it's fine. I'll do what it needs to do. If I have to start back at square one, so be it. If it takes the years to get to a title, so be it. But thank you, Silas, for unleashing the monster that has been deeply hidden inside of me.
I am floored. Big Tex is thanking Silas Walker for everything that we've seen you two go through. You're thanking him. Thanking him. Thanking him.
I'm not going to believe anything till I see it. Like I said, do what you need to do, run amok, do what you need. But if you mess with me, I will leave you laying in that ring just like I did at World War II, and we know how that always will end. Do you. Thank you, fuck you, bye.
Oh, Big Tex, it is time for you to go. But you have anything else you want to say before we let you go, and we'll let Mr. Walker have a few final thoughts to sign off with?
I'll let my actions now do the talking in the ring.
Actions speak louder than words, Big Tex. We're going to find out if starting from square one will unleash the Big Tex that people thought, and Big Tex is vamoosed. He's gone.
Sorry about the language. I don't want to get you kicked off the air.
No, you're not. You're not. Trust me. You're not. But Big Tex kicked himself off tonight's stream, and he's starting from square one. And your reaction?
Good for him. Good for him. Maybe this time he'll be a whole new man. But until he proves that to me, proves that to you, and proves that to everyone in DBW, including all of the viewers, we're just going to see him as the same old loser.
No, he has to prove it to himself. You know what? I understand where you're coming from. He's got to prove it to everybody else in the locker room, the DBW universe, even yourself. But no, really, he has to prove it to himself because it's match after match, title shot after title shot. He came up short and couldn't win the big one. Costelli was able to get over the hurdle, and he was able to finally win the big one. But Big Tex, he got more shots than anybody could have ever expected. He got different title after different title shot, and it's really about Big Tex. Big Tex has to prove it to Big Tex, nobody else.
I think I agree with you there. You made a really good point. And it's not Big Tex versus the world. It's not Big Tex versus DBW. It is Big Tex versus Big Tex, and it always has been. And
It's in here because he's had title shot after title shot. He got the opportunities. He was given the opportunities to succeed. You know, you talked about tonight your situation with Gaynor. I don't know. I don't know what Stephen Gaynor thinks. He hasn't commented on it, so I don't have an opinion on that, admittedly. You've had your situation. You've had whatever else. You've been in this game a long time, undoubtedly. But right now, at the end of the day, it's Big Tex who has to prove it because he was given title shot after title shot. And that's really what it comes down to.
It was DBW management, Stephen Gaynor, taking advantage of the charisma and the momentum that Big Tex had. And that crowd was behind him for a long time. And you've seen it fade away slowly and slowly from match to match. And now he doesn't have any of that momentum. He doesn't have as much of the crowd behind him. And he's going to have to find a way to do what he needs to do. And whether he does or not, that has nothing to do with me. That's not up to me. I'll take the credit for it if he does become a monster and becomes all this great, glorious champion. But I'll believe it when I see it. He's going to have to.
It should have happened already, and it hasn't. At the end of the day, it should have happened. He had title shot after title shot. He was put in places to succeed, and it didn't happen. You couldn't say, well, Big Tex, he wasn't given the opportunity. You couldn't say Big Tex didn't get an opportunity because management didn't want to give him a shot or people ducked him. No, he was given title shot after title shot. And he failed every time. There's no denying it. He failed. It doesn't matter if it was the brass knucks. It didn't matter about he didn't put away judgment. It didn't matter if he was in the situation with Jackson Snow a couple times. The whole situation with the Holy Grail. It doesn't matter any of it. Nothing of it matters because he got himself those opportunities. And he failed every time.
He did, and I saved him from what I said I would save him from. I saved him from the horrible fate.
You came on here 9 months, almost 10 months ago now, and talked about what Big Tex did. The first time I had you on Sportswire was 10 months ago, right before the end of the year. We talked about all this. I don't want to call you a Nostradamus, because that would be way a stretch. But in many ways, you called all of this. You called it.
I did, and I might not be Nostradamus, but I can tell you this. I'm Silas Walker, and I've created all this change, and I said what I'm going to do, and I said what's going to happen, and I've made this happen.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you're here right now in the chat, before we get ready to say a few final words, let me do a couple things first. Silas Walker's got a YouTube channel. I want to get him to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're here right now, do me a favor. Zilla, you love Silas Walker? Go hit a sub button for me. Go give him a sub on YouTube. Legendary Silas Walker. DBW,
I'll be uploading my recent matches to there soon.
Yes, so. And tag me as a collaborator on Instagram. So that way you can get more followers and that way more people know. DBW's got a YouTube channel, closing in on 4,000 subs. Do me a favor. Go hit the sub. Thank you to Rocky TV. Thank you, Rocky. I appreciate you coming in here. And if you're here, Rocky, for the first time, thank you. Thank you for your support. Also, JRW wrestler Silas gets Wendy's. Silas gets Wendy's. I don't know where the Silas gets from Wendy's reference is, but did you get Wendy's? Did you get Wendy's?
I don't think. Do I have Wendy's stuff around me? There's something reminding us of Wendy. Oh, the Wendy with okay, yeah, the Wendy. Yeah, all right.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You get Wendy's and JRW Wrestling. Thank you for tuning in. You've been here before a few times, and JRW, please go out there and follow the one and only Silas Walker. Check him out on YouTube. Go get. He's almost at 1,000 subs. So right now, go give him a sub. Zilla said she already subbed. Okay, great. And I think also, since I got some people here, before we sign off, you have been legendary. You have been global. You have been a man that has shown that unlike Big Tex, you don't fail in big matches. You continue to deliver. You continue to be a guy that's a modern day forecaster. So you know what? The next time you come onto Sportswire Radio before the end of the year, you're going to become a Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer to further cement your legendary and global career, good sir.
Thank you, Tom. That means a lot to me because we've seen so many people come on here. We've seen so many people showcase what they have on Sportswire, and you've done a great job at bringing this community together. You've been the center of this web, and because of you, I'm going to be showcased even more, and my greatness has been spewed out to everyone for them to witness. So thank you for that.
And like I said, thank you to everybody, but do hit the sub button because we want to get him to 1,000 subs. He's almost there. He's literally, and there you go. You just got a subscriber, so there you go. And JRW, go hit the sub button for me. He's almost there. He's almost at I know the pain of getting to 1,000. Trust me, I know the pain of getting there. So you want to get him to 1,000 subs, and please support our friends in DBW also. That would really appreciate that. Okay, so we've talked a lot tonight. There's a lot we've gotten into here. And I want to give you the opportunity because Big Tex, I don't know what the future is with you and Big Tex. Frankly, you don't have to prove anything to Big Tex. Big Tex does have to start at square one, but I want to give you the opportunity. Do you have anything else you want to share? Anything else you want to say to anybody before we get ready to close the show here tonight?
Well, I'm done with Big Tex, so that's setting. I will say this. I will at some point, maybe we'll talk about this the next time I'm on here, be sharing part of a project that I've been involved in for quite some time. I don't know if I've mentioned it on here. It's called NFW.
No.
It is not entirely wrestling fed like you would see like DBW or VTW or any. What this is imagine a person, a good friend of mine who has thousands of dollars of camera equipment and can make things look like literal movies and is the best video editor that I've ever seen. And he has put together this incredible story based around multiple wrestling characters that have been in our community for a long time. And myself, Everett Creed, I don't know if anyone knows who he is.
I heard Everett Creed.
Navon and Novin are both involved in this. The Novin is the main character of this whole thing. You have Diablo, and there's a few other individuals that will pop up. I won't spoil it because those parts are surprises. But if you want to check it out, I will probably be posting a lot of these videos on my Instagram at some point.
Which I'm going to put up right now while you're doing that, good sir.
Or if anyone wants to look it up, it is called New Frontier Wrestling.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Very cool. These videos are short, few-minute episodes. The fight videos are a little longer. It doesn't show entire matches for the whole presentation. It's better with these being almost like highlight videos of the matches, but eventually the full matches will be uploaded. This stuff is like on the ground because we are out in, it's not like I'm going to fight you for this belt. There's no championships. It is a story of people.
Well, you would like, fighting. You know what? Who would like that? Our friends here in Texas Promo Wrestling, because now I see where we're talking with, because they're going to be here Saturday night to celebrate their 5-year anniversary. And they support you and they support DBW. And that's what the Texas Promo Wrestling Fed does. So they would probably love that. That's really cool. I definitely.
Yeah, so the best way to put it is we've had in the past these cinematic matches. This entire thing is a cinematic. The whole thing is cinematic, not just the matches, not the entire thing. It is awesome.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. I definitely. I hope we could talk about this.
There's like
What's that?
There's 3 seasons of it that my friend put together, and most of this is already released. The first 2 seasons have been released. The third one, it's all done, but it hasn't released yet. So
Okay, well, when it does, I mean, we could definitely talk about it on
yeah,
Sportswire.
yeah.
I'd love to share it. Let anything I can do. It's got to be hopefully as good as the Van Hansen thing that he just put out. But I'm wearing his
Van
shirt.
Hansen's pretty talented. He's
I
like
know that
he's like a jack of all trades.
Well, that's why he has 1,000+ subscribers. But and Rocky's gonna follow that. There you go. Rocky's gonna follow that. So there you go.
Thanks.
We're helping each other out. See, getting people out here. So that'll be good. Very excited about that. That's Silas's Instagram. Go out there and support him. Please go do that. And I think Silas will definitely be here before the year is out. And we'll see about Big Tex. We'll see what his future is. And I'll take this off the screen before I get to close. I do have to play something. It's non-related to you, but you did like him so much at one. Maybe he will be your manager one day. But I promised I play something from, because he actually did something in the community, and I have to play it, because if I don't, he will really shoot me, because I owe him. That is Mr. Heshy Tischler. He actually did something really important in my community. He actually helped get a religious shul built, and I wanted to play it here for the audience, because obviously Heshy did something very nice for me, and I want to do something nice for him. So thank you, Heshy. And there you go. We'll play it here right now. Let's see. Did it play? No. Oh, well, now it'll play. There we go. Now it'll play. No, it's not playing. Oh, well, then if that's the case, that's his video. Thank you, Heshy. Thank you, Uncle Heshy, for doing something for the community, but it didn't work out here. But that's okay. We'll take this off the screen, and we'll figure it out some other time. But okay, I think we've got the point. I'm very excited about this here. Also, he's going to follow you on Instagram. And,
Thank you.
And also Van Hansen. Yeah, but Van Hansen is in DBW, but Silas Walker's in DBW. But just to let you know,
you have two, I guess.
And you just got to follow on Instagram. There you go. Rocky had a great promo. I was watching Rocky's promo on the Texas Promo Wrestling Instagram. He was talking about, it was like he was all the way somewhere, and it was like the middle of like a ditch somewhere, and he was just like, I was like, wow, I'm gonna bring these guys on Sportswire on Saturday night. Just don't put me in that ditch, because I know nothing about any of this stuff. But that was very exciting. But let me pass the baton to you now. Let me give you some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? And the floor is yours.
No, I don't really have much I want to plug. I think the plugging was just helping out with that project that I really talked about. But one final word moving forward in DBW. I've expressed my contempt with Stephen Gaynor. I've expressed that Chaos Conspiracy is done. I have expressed that I am Chaos, none of them. But I want to say this.
Yes, sir.
I'm not the matchmaker, but I know I'm going to have to defend a championship at the next big event. That's how things work in wrestling. I'm not stupid. I am itching to teach someone a lesson, and that lesson needs to be learned, not to trifle with things when they are going well. So, Jacob Cassidy, I am going to ask you to talk to Gaynor, because I'm sure as hell not going to do it. Talk to Gaynor, get a match, and when I fight at Danger Zone, I hope it is you.
Wow. Jacob Cassidy, you're on the clock. You're the guy that's going to go to Stephen Gaynor. You're the guy that's going to set up a match. You're the guy we're going to find out here what's to come at Thursday Night Thunder Punches. You're the guy that's going to, let's say, be in the crosshairs of a global champion. And you might want to say even you're going to be the one that's trick-or-treated at your own expense. And don't cross Silas Walker, because he's certainly legendary. Just ask Nikki Chooch, and certainly just ask Big Tex, who made an appearance off the Big Tex Failures Tour, and he made a special appearance on another tour, because the Failure Tour has failed so much that he had to go somewhere else to try and be successful. We'll see what his future's installed for. Stay tuned to DBW on all platforms, and including on YouTube at Dominating Breakout Wrestling, Facebook, Bonfire Store, and we'll have a lot more DBW coverage ahead. And the next time you'll see Silas Walker on Sportswire Radio, you can add Hall of Famer to his career and he's got those brass knuckles. Looking at you, Big Tex. He's looking at you with them. That's all I'm going to say. And my buddy, Barry Gutman, he's very impressed with them because Barry, Barry's Barry, and he comes from the hood. He comes from Brooklyn, too. So Barry likes the knuckles. Barry definitely likes those knuckles. And, Barry likes things so much that, Barry, we appreciate you. And so much so, before we went off the air, we wanted to end the night off in good taste and good fun because we have new people here. But there you have it. There I was once upon a time. And trying to be legendary like you, but Barry was the true legend. It's all thanks to Barry that I'm here. But there I was, and everyone now is going to be like, you stop playing.
I love the photo, man. I saw that on a couple of your other streams, and I'm glad that I finally have the chance to say something about it. It's just it's uncanny because we've seen you for so long with these mutton chops and the long hair, and there you are, smoother than a baby.
I know. It doesn't even look. It was like 6 or 7 years ago. We took this picture, I think, outside of Coney Island in Brooklyn, and it was like, there we
some
were.
Uncanny Valley stuff.
Yes, it was. And there Barry and I were, and I think Barry and I are more friends now than we were years ago in the neighborhood. But that's just funny. That's how things reunite. But yes, that's that. But Silas Walker is awesome. Go follow him. He's a hell of a talent. He's going to do a lot of great things. We'll see if he's at Chase Wakefield's wedding invitational. Chase will talk about that next week. We'll have more DBW coverage ahead, and we thank Silas for being so kind to be here tonight when he was contractually not obligated to be here. But my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce. Your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. I'll be here tomorrow with Andrew Lovelace and Max Strong. It'll be hammer time. We'll see if he brings the hammer like last time on Sportswire Radio. We'll have that ahead also, and they'll have a slew of other great shows. I actually forgot who's on after that, but tune in anyway. But I'm sure I'll be here. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. And go support DBW. Hit the sub button for Silas Walker. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Champ, thank you for all you do, and we'll see you next time in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame.